our spider mouth because it was could be triggering for some people. So we're going to go up to our photo icon, import our image, select the image that you want to use. So if you toggle this on and off at any point, it'll pull up your image. If you can see, we need it at a different location and also rotated. So you do that with the X, Y, and scale position, and also rotate. So I'm going to rotate this like that. I'm going to make it a lot smaller, and we'll pull it over and up, about right there. So I didn't really find something that I loved, but I feel like this is going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to mask. We're going to draw our mask, make sure unmask is unchecked, and we're just going to carve out the area that we want to use. You can make this however you want to make it. I'm going to hit unmask, and I'm going to just kind of shape up the bottom. I feel like that's fine. The top, you'll see a couple options. Sharpen will make that more sharp, but because our pumpkin isn't super smooth, you can see the pixels. I try not to voxel remesh too much because you will lose detail. We're going to use blur twice, and we're going to invert it, meaning this will be what we're working with. It'll mask everything else but this area. You have so many different options for this. You can use clay, subtract, and cut away material that way. You can select your gizmo and move that area in like this. You can use inflate, subtraction, and move the material like that. You can use brush, you can use flatten, you can use all those tools to subtract or add to that area. I don't want to do too much because we're going to add in some teeth here. Now, before we exit off the mask, go ahead and click this mask. We're going to invert it again, pull out some of this area for the mouth and make it protrude. So to do that, I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to come in here, get a good angle, make this radius a lot smaller, and I'm just going to pull this out. I'm actually going to make this radius quite a bit bigger and pull this whole bottom forward. Maybe even pull it up. Yeah. And out. Mess around with this. See what looks best to you. That's probably pretty good. And then I'll clear this, and I'm not gonna even worry about smoothing anything out. Turn on the grid. I'm gonna select tube. Here you have curve and you have path. A curve lets you draw this tube, and when you validate it, or when you bring up the tube, it'll be in the pattern that you drew. If you select path, you draw a straight line somewhere, and when you pull the tube up, it's going to be in that straight line, and you can always click and drag this however you want it to lay. I like to use path for no other reason than it's just my preference. And then I zoom in, and I use this grid in the center to lay my lines, especially when I want it to be a very straight tube. Even if I'm adding curves to it, if you need something to be straight, then you can zoom in on that line and make sure that it's perfectly straight. This one's not going to be, but I just wanted to add that in there. For tubes, you have you do have a lot of options. So we're just going to stick with this model today. I'm going to select this radius number. That means you get to change the width of each dot. You can make it all one size. 2 will make the top and bottom. So if you want the bottom to be big but the top to be small. And this third option allows you to change every single dot a different size, like that. For this, we are going to use a radius of 3. Make this bigger and this sharp. I'm going to look at up here a little bit, and I'm going to bring this out. So when you're accidentally under a mirror, it is going to mirror whatever you add under that, which is why this tube is looking like a mirror. No worries, you just click and drag this out of that mirror. So this will be at the top of the mouth, and we want this to curve down. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And then in the 3 dots, you get to work with your post subdivision, and we're going to bring this up to 2. You can do it however you want though. I'm just going to stick with 2. And then using our gizmo, I'm going to pull this up so I can look at it and see how it looks. Make it smaller. I like that, but I think snap right now is still turned on. That means that when you move these dots, it's going to snap to whatever object it's laying on. So if I do this, it's going to snap to that pumpkin. I'm going to undo and turn that off for right now. I just remember that if you want a specific angle, you can just tap. If it's on back, if you tap it, it'll go to the front. Okay, I'm going to make this smaller. And this button or this icon will allow you to edit and gizmo. Switches between where you can move it and when you can change points. I'm going to bring this tooth in, or whatever this is, this tooth in. And maybe just bring it up. I actually don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to try out snap and pull it down. I think I do like that. And maybe I'm going to turn grid off, and maybe I'll add a mirror. Yeah, I like that. And then what I'll do is select both the mirror and tube and clone. That way we have another tooth to work with. Don't worry about this yet. Toggle between the edit point and gizmo. Make these smaller. Pull them up. Bigger. I like this, but it looks a little derpy. Maybe this comes out here. And maybe I'll clone this set, flip it. Okay, see how I'm struggling to get this straight? If you undo and you come up here to snap, you can change this to whatever degree you want it to be. I usually just do 45 and 90. That way, whenever you rotate, it will snap it in 90-degree increments. Then you can pull it down. This one, I'm going to change the pivot to center and align. I'm going to make sure and click the tooth. What is happening? Pivot, align center, and pivot. and pull this in. Instead of trying to work around this area that wasn't covered, I'm going to click the pumpkin and I'm going to build this lip up. Oh, that's too much. Bring that intensity down. And then I'm going to bring this, turn off, snap. I'm going to just bring this down. Perfect. I just hit gizmo. You know what? I'm going to bring these out and I'm going to clone those teeth and then bring this set in. Rotate them, pull them out. That way they're visible. Ones need to come down further. I'm going to turn snap off and pull this away from that eye. That looks good. So see how it's going into the lip. I'm going to click clay, subtract, and just make this appear like the tooth is pushing this lip down. Good. And let's make these teeth, maybe, let's paint these. Remember, paint icon. We'll do like a orange red, but we're gonna pull it, down. It needs to be more orange. I like that. Paint all. And then I'm actually just going to select all of these and paint them all at once. So to do that, you just make sure and select everything that you want to paint and then paint all. We need the little thing on top of the pumpkin. I'm going to wait to do that. Let's start on the legs. So make sure we're selected off everything. Let's turn on the grid. Make sure you always know whether you're front facing perfectly by how the grid looks. So if I tap front, you'll see that it's flat. Hit tube. You can do curve or path, but I like path because I don't want to. Let me show you. Whenever you do curve and say you want your leg to come out like this, you're going to have all these points, and I don't like to I don't want to go and delete all these points. So I prefer just to do a path. I need to delete this tube. Make sure we're not selected anything. I just prefer to do a path. That way I don't have to worry. I must be selected on something. I'm not. That's weird. Path. Just pull this down. And you make these look however you want them to look. I'm going to hit radius. That way I can pull this in. If you tap a point, it turns it into a sharp point. The only problem with that is that you need to make sure that when you come in here and you make this subdivision, see this crease? You'll have to voxel remesh this. Otherwise, let me show you what it looks like from, you don't worry about this, from a blended view. That's what it looks like on the inside, and it's not smooth. So just be aware that you'll need to just kind of make this not be so sharp. I'm going to build this leg in pieces. We'll have 1 piece, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 pieces, I think. Just leaving the pumpkin so we can see our reference. Select off of the tooth or the pin, whatever that is. We might add these in. This mouth, I believe is different from whatever this is, this little fang thing. So let's build the leg, and then we can build those, like, I don't know, but we'll see, maybe right there. This one piece is pretty small. Path, we'll drag this out to like there. Make it semi big, and then bring the subdivision up. That's good. I'm going to click path again. There. Okay. Pull this down, make this much bigger. Pull it up here, down there. It's pretty small, so we'll bring this in like here. Bring out the subdivision. Make this much bigger. Maybe this side's smaller. Pull this out. Like this. And then use our gizmo and pull it into this leg. Because I want it to go this way, pivot, rotate my gizmo, and then pull it straight up. Actually, I feel like this needs to be bigger. Pull it straight up. Yeah. And then add another tube. This one attaches here, puffy, small paths. So this one will go here. Here it's puffed up. I'll make sure the radius is 3. It's like puffy. There's a sharp, and then it's gonna come down like this. It's like super short though, and this is much smaller. Like that. I feel like that's probably good. And then switch between that and gizmo and bring this into that leg piece. And then this one, I'm going to cut it off right here, or just make the center smaller. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna add a tube, path, pull this one that far. Oh, I see. Let me delete this. Path. What in the world? Path. There, okay. Okay, this one, just making sure I was front facing. This one goes into that part of the leg. I'm going to bring my post subdivision up to 2. Make this smaller. Okay. Looking at it from the lateral side, this portion is smaller, and then it gets bigger, and then it gets smaller, and then it ends a little bit bigger. Oops. Like that. But I feel like it comes up. Whoa. That's way too small. I'm going to bring post subdivision down to 1, and this is like much bigger. Much bigger. I feel like this needs to be bigger right there. That way I can make this bigger. Yep. Then I'll add another one for this section. Four on post and 4 on topology. Push this into here, and then adjust like so. And then instead of creating this one, I will clone that one. Like that. And we'll rotate it here. Then, oops, this one. Turn off snap and pull it into that joint. Make sure all the joints are connecting. This needs to come this way. That looks good. Now we can select all of our tubes. I think all of the, well, okay, all right. What we can do is clone all of those pieces, go into our voxel remesh, pull this up to like between 350 and 400 and remesh. And then we can hit solo because we don't need our pumpkin for reference anymore. And then we'll come in and we'll build this leg up so it's not harsh. We'll do smooth. This is, so say you had this intensity super high. Relax is, I don't know what exactly it brings it down to, but it's super, super relaxed to where that's what it would be normal. But we are going to pull this down to like 50%. And just come in and hit this gently. Some people choose to work on one complete side first. So they'll go to the front and they'll work on this side. Then they'll go to the back and work on this side. I do the joint all the way around and move to the new joint. That way I don't miss any piece. You see what works best for you. Once you get this all smoothed out, we'll go to the right view and go ahead and hit solo, and I don't know how that got so big, but we're going to make it that big and move it into the spider. So right here, all these individual tubes, I'm going to make sure we can't see those so we don't get confused. This part should be more round, so inflate, bring the radius up, make sure subtract's turned off, and just hit this so lightly. And then smooth it out. And then this part is actually, it's got like this flat kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. So I'm going to move this portion of the leg. I'm going to bring this up. I'll pull this, bring this up, pull this and this out like this. Maybe pull this center part in. And then with our flatten tool, we're working with a too little pixel. So come in here to our remeshing tool, go over to multi-tiers and click subdivide twice. That way it's more smooth. We can really like work on smoothing this portion out. We're just going for this effect. We can even come in with the inflate tool, bring the radius down, and really come in here and highlight this. It's almost like armor, this armor piece. You can always turn the grid off if you need to. I'm going to smooth this out. That way we kind of get this effect. And to go further, we'll hit inflate, subtract, and go this way to make this look prominent. And then we can drag this up. So move and pull this way. Like that. And there's really nothing to do on this yet. Really nothing to do on this yet, except front. I'm gonna make my radius really big, and I'm actually gonna pull this down. I just feel like this needs to be longer. And this maybe tilt down. And then front, we can even trim the bottom of that leg. Hit validate. That looks pretty good. If you feel like it's too wide, you can come in with your move tool, make the radius big, and just pull this in like that. I actually really like that. And then we'll just go to the top view, click our gizmo, and move this where it needs to be. Maybe I'll make it a little bit thicker. And go up to your, I don't know what this panel is called, but this one, clone. Pull this one this way. Clone. This way. Clone this way. I think that will stand just fine. And then you can come to the bottom and just make sure that we are actually inside the pumpkin. Instead of completely moving these, I will use my move, pull my radius down, and pull this in. Like that. Gives the legs more character anyway. Although I feel like this actually needs to, I'm gonna turn it, I'm gonna rotate this and push it this way. I'm rotating to make sure all my legs, this one needs to go in like that. But they look pretty good. I will go ahead and select all of these and paint them the same color as the teeth. Maybe that front leg comes forward. Forward. Oops. Just tap. And then rotate this and pull it forward. Yeah. And then I forgot about these ones, so instead of creating a whole new leg, just clone that one. Pull it forward. You can make it smaller. Push it in. Rotate it. We can pull it up too. And tilt it a little bit. And use the move and drag it down. Like that. Okay. Then with that selected, add a mirror and do that to every single leg. Mirror. Add mirror. Add mirror. Add mirror. I'm going to take this image off so I can really look at my pumpkin. It is cute, but I do feel like it's too clean. So tap the pumpkin. Again, you make yours however you want. Oh yeah, we do still need a top, but I'm just gonna come in here to like clay and turn off my symmetry and give it some more character. Okay, I feel like it made it look a little more, not so symmetrical and perfect. Let's do the stem. Front, turn grid on, hit tube, either curve or path. Oops, reset the center point or the starting point, and radius. If you want to put a swirl in this, like me, you can do that by moving your points. I'm going to turn snap off and pull this down, and then we'll just move these. Oops. Oh, that's way too big. For easier printing, I'm going to make sure that the stem is touching the pumpkin, so we're not printing in the air. I like that. I'm just going to make this one bigger. You can paint this now. This actually needs to be a brown, so we're going to switch between my views and come down here to orange. And, sorry, I'm going to come here. Find a good brown. I like it. Paint all. Do I like it? I feel like it's just too round. Maybe like that. Yeah, that's fine. Validate it. And then let's add some texture to it by using our clay. We'll do subtraction and addition. For right now, let's do subtraction and bring this down. And if you tap and hold on your sphere, it locks that view, so you're not accidentally, clicking and dragging, which I do a lot. Undo, redo. Just like that. That's why I lock my viewpoint. You can click your drag tool and drag this center point up. Use the flatten tool, smaller radius, and break down that edge so it doesn't look like a crayon. Use your smooth. I'm going to turn off my grid and just come in and make that. I don't actually want it to be that. That's good. And then I'm going to get back to adding some texture. And I'll make this smaller and pull that intensity up to really give it some depth. and call that good. Now we can add some like hair. I will have this texture in the description for you to download. And for this particular brush, we just need to make sure that our under stroke path hit lock radius, and then come in and make, before we do that, yeah, we need to subdivide this pumpkin to make it show up. I'm going to do each individual section of this pumpkin so it's not super symmetrical. Just go around and add this texture to your entire pumpkin. Okay, once you get all the hair going around, then we can come in and do it to the legs. And remember, you only have to do it to one side. You would hit solo to work with this only. And the good thing is that these legs are so small that you really don't have to spend too much time hitting the other legs, and we're just gonna go. With every single one of your brushes, you can change the intensity and your radius. You just got to figure out what works best for you. So when you come in here and you really hit it with a lot of intensity, if you don't like that look, you can come up to smooth and bring the intensity down and just bring your radius up and just hit it like this. That way you get some good texture. Like that. And you can go back to your hair. I would just wait until you're done completely before you go in with your smooth tool. Hit a different leg, go into solo, and do the same thing to all of them. I'm not going to change anything else. So, well, maybe I just feel like this, I shouldn't have rounded that off, I don't think. So I'm going to go to drag, click this, and drag this, make it more blunt, like that. Yeah, I like it. I like it better that way. Ooh, and then maybe come into move and like make this not round. I'm pretty sure pumpkins are not symmetrical. Yeah. And if you want to have like, you can use your crease tool and come in and make some deeper lines and stuff. This is your pumpkin. You make it the way you want to. And you can do whatever you want with this model. Like you did it, you do whatever you want. If you want to sell it, if you want to share it, if you want to post it, you do whatever you want to do. The only thing I can think of is to come in and make this look smashed in. And I'll do that with the clay tool. We'll go up to the top, make this bigger, and just, make this come in like this. Maybe x-ray so I can see where my bottom is. But also not take out the whole bottom. So that, stop it. Okay. Yeah. I feel like that, I don't know, it helped just a little bit. Okay. Oh, and one final touch is to cut off the bottom of the legs. Right there. So you do have to tap every single leg on one side. That way when you take it in to print it, it prints. Okay. If you wanted to look at this without all of your tools, you can go up to the corner and hit Minify. Tap, oh, you gotta hit view first. Hit view, and then tap it, and you can see it up close. Isn't that cool? Remember, you can do as much as you want to with this model. Make it yours, add stuff, subtract stuff, add claws, add teeth. You can paint it, which will be in the next tutorial, and put some lights in there, make it really cool. So if you want to do that to this model, move on to the last video for this tutorial.